Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and please take your seats and settle down as the show is about to begin. Hello, welcome to Friday night at the Corner House. Now, we're virtual tonight because apparently Boris has closed the theatres. Yeah, something nasty doing the rounds. Anyway, we've got a wonderful show for you tonight. We've got drama, we've got art, comedy, music, poetry. We had to cancel the performing horses, but apart from that, we've got so much. And being this sort of time of year, we naturally think of panto. So let's start off our variety show tonight with Peter Brooker, an extract from the 2019 Wind Up the Willows.
Well, I'm worn out before I start. Thank you. I feel as limp as a vicar's handshake, I really do. Still, we've got a programme. We'll cover your programme for a minute, love. Pass it up. I'm not have to go down and step on these heels again. I thought so. Thank you. Washerwoman. Washerwoman. I mean, do I look like a washerwoman?
Oh, yes.
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, yes, you do.
On for the road. Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, yes, you do.
For those of you that haven't had the pleasure of me yet, no. I can wait. No, I'm not Meghan Markle. Although we're often mistaken for each other. She's quite a bit older than me, of course. No, my name is Linda Laundromat. Linda Laundromat. Star of stage, screen, Kingston Job Centre, and currently working as personal laundress to Mr. Toe. Mr. Toe. Now, I would like to take this opportunity, if I may, to quash the ugly rumour that's doing the rounds that I'm only called Linda Laundromat because I charge £1.50 for a 20-minute tumble. I know what's written about me on them toilets. Anyway, Laundromat is my married name. I was married once. I'm on my own now, though. Well, my husband was never the same after that horse kicked him in the Cotswolds. And then he went and ran off with the woman next door. Oh, I do miss her.
And now we move to art. And we've got Anna Dyson explaining how she does her pictures and why paintings make people cry. But before that, Terry Cripps gives us an insight into how he creates his distinctive art.
As any painter will tell you, the first brushstroke is often the hardest. The blank surface, full of promise of what might be, is also very intimidating. But even before that moment of commitment, there is that elusive instance regarding the idea itself. Where do they come from? That spark is seen, then vanishes. How do artists keep hold of that moment long enough to work with it, turning it into an expression of confidence and resolution? In many respects, that is the hard work. The retention in our imagination long enough for that spark to materialise into a confident, finished piece of work. Many artists are content, even insist on working in quiet, white spaces, isolated from all distraction. So difficult is it to hold on to that spark floating in our imagination. I confess I have a different habit. That of needing confusion and chaos, the stuff of life, to present me with objects, colours and shadows that will make my compositions. I much prefer sitting in a street cafe, bus terminus or railway station with all its vibrancy, teasing out compositions and arrangements that may become paintings. I spontaneously draw down shapes, lines, blotches and scratches which seemingly have no relevance to the scene in front of me, but which are nevertheless a product of that experience.
My name is Anna Dyson. I paint in oils on canvas. I get colours in my head. I take the paint tubes from my box, from the colours that I've had in my head, and I put the paint directly on the canvas. I don't mix any colours, and then I take a big brush and I start to paint, and whatever is left on the brush is what stays on the canvas. So the paintings paint themselves. At the end, I'm always surprised by what emerges. What I found with my paintings is that people really connect with them. They see really personal things in them, and I never know what people are going to see. People see all sorts of different things in my paintings. I've had people connect with loved ones. They've seen the loved ones that they've lost in my paintings. I've had people cry. I've had all sorts of powerful reactions. So I believe that every painting that I paint is for somebody. What I do with my paintings is I use images from my paintings to create products.
It's music next, and we have Jess Newbury-LeVay from Out of the Corner, and she has been dancing in the dark.
Hi, I'm Jess Newbury-LeVay. This is Dancing in the Dark by Bruce Springsteen. I get up in the evening and I ain't got nothing to say. I come home in the morning, I go to bed feeling the same way. I ain't nothing but tired. Well, I'm just tired and bored of myself. Hey there, baby, I could use just a little help. You can't start a fire. You can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's fire, even if we're just dancing in the dark. Messages keep getting clearer. Radio's on and I'm moving round the place. I check my look in the mirror. I wanna change my clothes, my hair, my face. Man, I ain't getting nowhere. Oh, I'm just living in a time like this. There's something happening somewhere. Oh, I just know there is. You can't start a fire. You can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's fire. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. We sit around getting older. There's a joke there somewhere and it's on me. Shake the world off my shoulders. Come on, baby, love's on me. Stay on the streets of this town. I'll be covering you up, alright. They say you gotta stay hungry. Hey, baby, I'm just about starving tonight. I'm dying for some action. I'm sick of sitting round to try to write this book. I need a love reaction. Come on, baby, give me just one look. You can't start a fire. You can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's fire. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. You can't start a fire. Sitting round crying over a broken heart. This gun's fire. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Even if we're just dancing in the dark.
Thank you, Jess. Now we move to poetry. In lockdown, the Corner House has been running a project about leaving one year and moving to another. So the committee met for 5 hours and came up with the name for the project, From One to Another. Brilliant, isn't it? So we start with Miranda Fuller, we move to Caroline Brooker, and we finish with Laura Dowd. Settle back and enjoy some of the Corner House poets.
The passing of 2020. This 2020 passing's been the most appalling year of illness, loss, confusion, loneliness and dreadful fear, of missed events, occasions, anniversaries unshared, of constant wonderings how friends and family have fared, but superhuman efforts too of vigilance and care, of acts of loving kindness, acts of heroism rare. And finally, in the darkness of this tunnel, we see light and hopefulness ahead of us instead of dread and fright. So let our poor depleted Christmas still bring joy and cheer, then bid this passing year goodbye without a single tear.
Hindsight. If I'd had known how it was going to be, I would have hugged you more in spring. I would have taken a train to Waterloo and walked by the river, drinking in the landscape, smiling at the history. I would have sat in Tate Modern, paying homage to the Rothkos, immersed in the colours, washed clean by the light. I would have stood beside the Golden Hind and journeyed in my mind's eye to places far across the sea, past my set horizon, ever onwards, pulling against the shrinking world. There will be other seasons filled with friends. We just have to be patient.
Will it be better? Will it be worse? Will we ever be able to conquer the curse? Will it mutate or go out with a bang? Will I ever be able to hang out with the gang? I've had my injections against all infections. I have no objections to medical corrections. Will I ever get peace? Or ever to Greece? My holiday's in June. Might as well be the moon.
Lovely. Now it's music time again from out of the corner, and I wonder if you can guess from this little example using the saucepan lid I've been banging for carers and Captain Tom and everybody else, frankly. Can you guess what this is? Probably not. Anyway, here's Sophie and Tom Edge with a little bit of music.
She's a honky-tonk woman. I said, gimme, gimme, gimme the honky-tonk blues. She's a honky-tonk woman. I said, gimme, gimme, gimme the honky-tonk. Said it took so far from Queen in Memphis. She tried to take me upstairs for a ride. She had to hit me right across the shoulder, 'cause I just can't seem to bring you off my mind. She's a honky-tonk woman. Say, gimme, gimme, gimme the honky-tonk blues. She's a honky-tonk woman. Say, gimme, gimme, gimme the honky-tonk blues. A lady keep on seeing New York City. I had to put on some kind of fight. The lady then she covered me in roses. She blew my nose and then she blew my mind. She's a honky-tonk woman. Say, gimme, gimme, gimme the honky-tonk blues. She's a honky-tonk woman. Say, gimme, gimme, gimme the honky-tonk. Gimme, gimme, gimme the honky-tonk. She's a honky-tonk woman. Say, gimme, gimme, gimme the honky-tonk blues.
Sophie and Tom Edge with Honky Tonk Woman. Now, we've got Susanna Finzi, who's one of our local playwrights. She writes for stage and screen, she translates, she edits books. Is there nothing this woman doesn't do? Anyway, she's talking to us now about the build-up to writing a script in lockdown, and later on, after the interval, we'll get an extract from one of her plays.
I write for the stage, so for better or worse, it doesn't begin and end with me. The product of my efforts isn't actually finished, it doesn't actually count until it's been performed. It isn't complete without an audience. And the reason for that is that, I think, I'm asking them to give me their time, their full attention for anything between 20 minutes and a couple of hours, and probably to pay for it. And in exchange, I have to make it worth it for them, because that's the deal. And making all this happen are actors, director, technicians, musicians, perhaps a producer. And what I'm doing is providing a kind of blueprint for them, a starting point. The raw material, like that. And all those other people add to and enrich what I give them, practically always, they really do. But they can't make a silk purse out of a sausage of a script. So what I do has a certain responsibility to them too. So what as a writer do I actually do every day? Well, this is what we would like to think writers do every day. I love this picture. But I read with relief a bit back that writers don't write, they listen, they observe. Not writing, they're listening and observing. And that felt familiar. And I'd want to add to that they watch how people behave. They see things that don't fit, things that don't turn out how they're expected to be. So writers are a bit like scavengers, taking home goodies in their swag bags. And words like inspiration or creativity or self-expression leave me a bit uncomfortable, because for me writing's more like having a great box of jigsaw pieces and all I know is there's a picture in there somewhere, but it always starts with the pieces. So there are things that get my attention I don't want to lose, because my attention's gone and it's lost. So this can be stuff overheard on the bus, it can be maps, masses of newspaper cuttings, always newspaper cuttings, lines of poetry, posters. Many of them will just die in a drawer because the wastage is enormous. But there's an idea in there somewhere, and if it's any good, it grows, it nags me. It's like compost, it becomes a story with a shape and energy. And the characters in the story, what will become the characters in the play, are already embedded in it, because this could never have happened to anyone else. It's literally their story. So you've just seen an excerpt from Bearing All. There's not much of it, not the bit that I produced, 20 pages, mostly blank space, less than 4,500 words. By the time I'd started writing it, though, most of the jigsaw pieces had already formed into a picture, into a story. So what kind of pieces were they, for example? Well, take a plane, take an airplane, and you're crammed up against your neighbour, both facing forwards, not a very natural position for conversation. And if you turn your head towards them, you're already much too close for comfort. They're in your space. And then there's Samuel Beckett, who I struggle to understand still, but I love the fact that these people are stuck. You know, they sit in dustbins, they have their buried up to their necks in sand, they can't move. And that's the opposite of everything you expect to see on the stage. And then there are the things you told a stranger you wouldn't think of telling anyone else. But are you quite sure they're a stranger? But they're no joy. I saw two ladies with their feet in one of these fish tank foot spas. And there it was. Bearing all could actually happen, just like that. So, not a lot of writing been done so far, but a lot of the real work's been done before I get to a title page or a cast list or a time and a place. So, how do I get from that piece of script that I think is quite good to that, or even that? I'm not there yet. Because what makes something quite good into something better is all the fixing, the cutting, the rewriting, almost always the result of that real gold mine, which is the opinion of other people, of readers, of people who read the play out loud round a table. They're almost always immensely helpful. And eventually, if I'm really lucky, preparation with a director, rehearsals with actors, more things get improved. But after 12 years of writing for the stage, this is still the weapon of choice. Cheap biro, post-it notes, write down stuff. So I spend incredibly little time writing dialogue at the keyboard. Most of the work is done not in this room, but everywhere and nowhere. So if you see me in the street and I'm a bit distracted, I might have just noticed something, overheard something that provides a join, solves a problem, creates a new twist that makes the story richer. And I've probably got a pocket full of post-it notes. And I'm just being a writer. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Susanna. Now we move on to comedy, and we've got Elaine Blackmore with a bit of a boozy contribution. Elaine presents Whole Lotta Comedy Nights at the Corner House. See if you can keep tabs on the number of drinks she mentions.
Hello everybody, what a fantastic evening we're having. I'm really enjoying myself. I don't know about you, but I've been thinking about holidays that we used to have. Yes, and when we last managed to get out, which seems a long time ago. Well, the last break we had, we went to Scotland. We stayed at the Keir Royal, which overlooked the Highland Park. It was dark and stormy when we arrived, hurricane winds, and the car park was a mudslide. Well, the receptionist, Johnny Walker, he was a real hot toddy, and I knew immediately I was going to like the Scotch. There was a dog laying by the fire with a ball nearby, and I said, "Oh, is that the dog's ball?" He said, "Yes, it's Bailey's." Well, the next day there was going to be a wedding, and Stella, originally from Manhattan, was going to marry Glenn Fiddick. They met when they were at university in Tennent's together. Oh, he was larger than life. Well, the day came when she arrived on a pony. It was a little horse with a big kick. Well, it certainly bucked fast. Dressed in white, she carried a bouquet of red roses, crimson tied in a pretty bow. There was an old peculiar man next to her, who I can only assume was her father, because I heard him say, "Have courage, best man has just arrived." He was a Fusilier. They said he was Jamie's son, Tom Collins. The bridesmaids were dressed in blue, none of them married, although I did hear talk of a baby shower. The photos were taken by the Blue Lagoon, which was really just a silent pool, but quite hypnotic. The food was amazing. They even managed to cater for Celia and Dara, who are both gluten-free. Tarquin wasn't there. He was noticed by his absence. Well, the first dance was the tango, and then everybody joined in with the Gay Gordons, and they finished off singing along to the Pina Colada song. Everything was wonderful, till Jack Daniels turns up with Mary. Bloody Mary, did she whine! He called her a red-headed whore. "I'd like to smash your blue balls against the rock," she snaps back. There was a punch. I thought he was going to kill her. Oh, what a nightmare. "Might I suggest you leave," says the best man, which fortunately they did, and it all ended up just being a port in a storm. But what a palaver. One of the bridesmaids started crying, and Martini sat down beside her. And he said, "Dry that tear, Maria." And she looked at him and through her pink frost lipstick said, "I'd like to whiskey away for a quickie. You make my lava flow." "Woo woo, my cherie," he replies. "You're a bonny lass, but you do bonny for me, and I don't need a one-night stand." And off he walked into the moonshine. Oh, well, she thought it was worth a shot. Well, the time came for the newlyweds to leave. Now, he had always fancied autumn in New York, but she had dreamed of being on a Long Island, iced tea in hand. So off they went to Malibu, where they could spend a day on the beach or two. She said, "Oh, I can't wait for you to bury me in the sand." But all he ever wanted was sex on a beach. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, and back to your host.
Well, thank you, Elaine. Excellent stuff. How many drinks did you hear her mention? I'm going to tell you after we've had a short interval, and an interval in which we're going to be able to see some art from the current show at the Corner House. It's by Anthony Maccini, and it's called Twilight, and I hope you enjoy the pictures. And I'm going to accompany them, if I can just tune my guitar, with a little bit of, I suppose, what you might call Spanish guitar playing. I'll just make sure I'm in tune here. Yeah, I think. I think that's perfect. So, see you after the interval. Welcome back to Friday night at the Corner House. Now, by now, your bank account should have been emptied and you will have enjoyed Anthony Maccini's art. Anyone wondering how many drinks Elaine mentioned in her comedy slot, the answer is 98, which is more than she gets through in an average weekend. Looking ahead now, next up is Susanna Finzi's 2018 play from the Corner House One Acts, and it's called Bearing All.
This is the lady you'll be sharing with.
sure how it would feel.
Most people neglect their feet. They just take their feet for granted. Until the unexpected happens. All right over there, are we? I'm sure we'll be fine. My lady's meeting all sorts of new friends here. It's what me time is all about. Just you relax and I'll pop back shortly to see how you're getting on.
What did you mean about the unexpected? Was she talking about feet?
Probably.
Are they always hungry?
It's their job to eat.
We just sit here and hope they know when to stop.
Let's not think about it.
You're very reassuring.
There's only so much that can happen to your feet. It's the rest of you need to worry about.
Are you okay about this? I mean, there wasn't much choice, was there? About sharing.
There never is about sharing. You're not married then?
Well, I was until a couple of years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong question.
Oh no, nothing to be sorry about. In fact, it's been quite liberating.
You're sounding very positive.
It's all about putting things behind you and making some lifestyle changes.
I don't think I've got a lifestyle.
Everyone's got a lifestyle. You've just got to figure out what it is and then change things. Quite often.
Well, I can't believe what I tell you.
I had a new hairdo and a couple of city breaks.
Oh, I see. Starting at the top, that is the hair, and working all the way down to your feet. By the end of today, you'll have covered the lot.
I had the bathroom done. That helped. And I exchanged the marital king-size bed for a 4'6". Apparently we divorcees have a niche in the mid-size bed market these days.
Did it work?
Did what work?
Putting it all behind you. The smaller bed.
It should have. I had the bedroom re-feng shuied and they said the energies would reconfigure after a couple of months. I'm not sure it's worked yet. Reconfiguring.
You still missing your ex?
In a way. I miss the man I first married.
We all do that, don't we? Marriage should come with a warning.
Ours was a whirlwind romance. Moonlit picnics on the beach, weekends in Venice and Prague, a wedding on a consecrated riverboat, a shared adventure, a dream come true.
Sounds wonderful. Hard to imagine what could possibly go wrong.
But it did. After a year, we moved here to Woking and everything changed. Look at that romantic, adventure-loving exterior. It was a man of habit. Lists of timetables pinned up all over the house. He had his odd job calendar for 6 months ahead pinned up in the hallway. His calorie counter in the kitchen and his flossing schedule in the bathroom. His idea of a perfect weekend was cooked breakfast, Sunday lunch in the pub, and then the rugby on Sky.
Sounds like he settled down. So what was the problem?
Well, I was still a girl who loved surprise treats, adventures, seeing the world. All that routine, but all that careful planning. I was desperate. He was decent though, you could say that for him. I mean, the man who does all the right things, including his share of the housework and the shopping. I swear he must have read How to Do Sex Properly. Consider. You could say you clocked by him. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm rabbiting on.
Not at all. She said sharing was good for us, and well, here we are.
Now we move to poetry. We've got poems on a seaside theme, 3 of them. We've got David Loughman reading Mussels at Whitstable, followed by Jill Davis reading Pebbles, And then Ian Davis reading The Planet's Brine. But we start with David Loffman.
Mussels at Whitstable. All that long afternoon we sat on the beach and watched the sea pull back out of the reach of the children who ran after it with shrieks and laughter. But it beat them and they retreated back to dry sand and towels. Afterwards, I strolled out alone onto the wet, flat slab of sand and a mosaic of sharp pebbles and shells. Out there, beyond the calls of the children, I came across a sea field of mussels stretched far out to the distant waterline. They lay knotted like black glittering treasure, split from an old pirate ship, clinging to stringy seaweed and rocks, a shelter from the breeze and predator gulls. I could hear the sea slipping back across the sand towards the beach, chiming over rocks to the children. I bent down and picked at the mussels and plucked them into my hands until I could carry my cachet no more, brought them back to the dry rise of the beach and returned with reinforcements against the growing sea swell with plastic bags and buckets. Scavengers, we bent to our work, our bodies hooped to the beach, gathering in the crop snatched from the sea. And later, in the kitchen, we boiled water, crushed garlic and poured French wine over them and sat in the hushed kitchen eating the soft, warm, salt sea stinging mussels, gathering the day up into a rich crop of memory and friendship.
No Trump on the shoreline, no bollocks to Brexit, no Boris PM, just the glistening sea, no earthquakes, disasters, no Middle East war games, just granite, sand, water, a vast sky and me. Thank God for the shoreline, for waves crashing inwards, for making me feel like a pebble or shell, so tiny compared to the greatness of nature, for millions of years being thrashed by the swell. No Trump, Putin, Boris, with heads big as pumpkins, with hearts for the richest, contempt for the poor, with fiddled expenses, with tax havens, lovers, with pussy grab hands, no respect for the law. I stand on the beach and am awed by the hugeness of sky stretching onwards. How far, who can tell? Thank God for the shoreline, with waves crashing inwards, for Trump, Putin, Boris, are pebbles as well.
The planet's brine held fast to its corrugated face by gravity. Lunar fly past, perpetually adding energy through moonish pull. Earth's own winds, creasing and pressing, amplifying the motion. Solar power pulsing through, sparking life. Creation and evolution adding inestimable variety, microscopic to monstrous. Humanity contributing flotsam and jetsam, enough to corrupt the system terminally.
Hope you're enjoying Friday night at the Corner House. It's time for more music, and we return to Out of the Corner. This time, Emily Lucas singing about what we've all needed for the last year. A little bit of love and affection.
I am not in love.
persuasion. East or west, where's the best for romancing? With a friend I can smile, but with a lover I can hold my head back and really laugh, really laugh. Thank you. You took me dancing across the floor, cheek to cheek. With a lover I can really move, really move. I can really dance, really move, really move, really move. Now I can feel the sun in my eyes and the rain on my face. Why can't I feel love? Really love, really love, 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 love. Now I got all the friends that I want. I may need more, but I will make do with the ones I got. With friends I still feel so insecure. Little darling, I believe I can help you a lot. Just take my hand, lead me where you will. No conversation, no wave goodnight. Just give me love, ooh, and affection. Sing me another love song, but this time with a little dedication. Sing it, sing it, sing it, sing it. Once more with a feeling. Love, ooh, and affection. Now give me love, give me love, give me love. Just give me love, ooh, and affection. Sing me another love song, but this time with a little dedication. Sing it, sing it, sing it, sing it. Once more with a feeling.
Thank you, Emily. And now, for the final act of this evening, comedian John Long.
Hello, my name's John Long, nice to meet you all. That's my real name, by the way. Some people think that's a stage name, I think because it kind of rhymes, but it's my actual name, John Long. Although I've shortened it, my full name's Jonathan Longathon, you can call me that if you prefer. Well done on doing something nice, supporting a local art centre, that's a good thing to do. And you've done it, you've followed through, well done. That sounded wrong. I don't mean shitting yourself, I mean with good deeds. You know, when you, for example, environment. I'm trying to get better at the environment personally, and it's really hard when you start pulling at that thread and realise the extent of the problem. Really easy to just give up. It's what this song is about. It's called Ban the Plastic. Thank you very much. I was watching Blue Planet 2. There was plastic in the sea. Some got stuck inside a whale. It was so sad to see. So I say, ban the plastic. Ban it now. Simple. But then I took a look at all the plastic round me. My plastic water bottle, cause I can't afford a Chili's. These things were built to last and were once made up of way worse stuff in the past, like the pool balls or piano keys, once made of ivory, which is surely worse. I think with plastic it's mainly just the ones that we use just once that we need to ban today. So now I say ban the single-use plastics. Ban them now. I think we're getting there. But then I took a look at all the plastic wrapped fruit, where the plastic is sometimes a necessary evil. Forming a lightweight, airtight seal means your fruit gets to use still with all its fresh appeal, and to replicate the same seal without plastic, you'd need tin or glass. And the extra weight of those containers shipped across the globe as freight means a rise in the carbon footprint en masse. And now I say ban the food shipped round the globe, only locally sourced. I think we're getting to the heart of the issue. But then I went to a conference on being more green, and at lunchtime the instructor came up to me and said, those red cherries you're eating, they ain't in season, where'd you get them from? Well, it says they were grown here in the UK. Well, I'm sure they were, but in a hothouse, and they have a higher carbon footprint than shipping them in from, say, Spain where it's red cherry season now anyway. Fine. So now I say, ban the food shipped round the globe, only eat locally sourced and seasonally, and if you do have to get something out of season, see if you can get it shipped from a nearby country at lower environmental impact than from a hothouse nearby. Ban it now. And the instructor came up to me and said, actually, and I said, no, not actually, I've had it up to here. And that is not a joke about rising sea levels. I am fed up. It's never enough, is it? Everything I try, you're like, no, I can't do that. What about this? No, I've got to ban that as well. Well, you don't ban you. Ban trying. What is the point? Why give a shit about anyone that isn't you or your immediate family? Ban trying. Ban it now. Thank you, everyone. I think my point is, maintain that enthusiasm. Don't be as fickle as me and give up. Well done, you guys. I'm being facetious as well. I haven't dropped the cause entirely. I calmed down, and the campaign is still going. And you can support it if you'd like. This is quite an exciting new proposal, which I'd like to advertise, if I may. If you'd like to lend your support, you can buy a Ban the Food Shipped Round the Globe, only locally sourced and seasonally t-shirt. Those are available now at Ban the Food Shipped Round the Globe, only locally sourced and seasonally.org.uk. Sadly, .com and .co.uk were both taken. The t-shirts are made from hemp and an alpaca llama wool blend, ethically sourced from my cousin Marty, who's based in South Shields. Now, he only has a small herd and it is quite low yield, so there are currently only 5 t-shirts available. Also, to be carbon neutral, he will be hand delivering them on his bicycle. So if you don't live in the immediate South Shields area, I'd allow a couple months for delivery. All proceeds go to charities promoting the circular economy and green futures. Because of the overheads and the small unit amount, we are, however, making a significant loss on each one. Don't buy a t-shirt, is what I'm saying. Thank you. But do eat locally sourced and seasonally where you can, and do support the Corner House. Thank you for having me, everyone. I've been Jonathan Longathan. Bye! I've got a bit of a flicky bit of hair. I hope you don't mind that. That's made an interesting appearance throughout. It's lockdown. What are you going to do? Oh, that's my finger there.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of our Friday night at the Corner House. I hope you've enjoyed all the performances, and a big thank you to all the performers who've contributed, and to you for watching and listening.